understanding. Our mission with Patients Are Waiting is to eliminate health disparities by increasing diversity in medicine. We have 3 areas of focus: increasing the pipeline of minority clinicians, making that pipeline less leaky, and supporting minority clinicians in practice. Go to the next slide. So annually for the last 6 years, we have done a diversity in medicine conference, and that has been local to Lancaster, and sometimes people come from other places. During COVID, we've actually pivoted to an online or hybrid format so people could join us in person and also join us from home. Attending conferences, we think, is very important for understanding the world beyond the immediate people that you know, and it's allowed us to engage with our colleagues around the country for the benefit of our students that are within our catchment. And so that happens at the very end of September, the last weekend in September every year. And so 2023, it will be the weekend of like September 30th, October 1st. Next slide. We have been doing this since 2019, and so lots of people kind of are talking DEI, and they're new to the game. I've been Black my whole life. I'm not new to this, and I think that it's really important that there are things that are specifically for us, that are about us, that are speaking to us. And so I went to Franklin and Marshall College. I graduated there in 2003, and then I came back to Lancaster in 2011. I'm old, yes, I know. Next slide. So a lot of the things that we do really go to benefit and support F&M students, but the need for more Black and brown doctors and health professionals goes beyond Franklin and Marshall. It goes to Millersville, it goes to UC Berkeley, it goes all over. Many people in this local community know about us through our Diversifying Doulas initiative, and that is a program to help increase the doulas, or doulas and non-medical birth support. And so lots of people hear about midwives and nurses and they think, oh, is that what a doula is? It's something different. But as a Black woman, as a Black physician, and as a mother, and at Dr. Livingston as well, we have 6 children between the 2 of us, and we understand the health disparities and the bad outcomes and the amount of times that women who look like us die in childbirth or around childbirth. And it's not okay. It's part of why we went into the fields that we went into. And so the work to change those outcomes has to do with you, the learners, arriving to the bedside to help patients. Also has to do with researchers. It also has to do with support and how our health systems treat patients from different backgrounds. Next slide. So we have lots of fun together. Tonight may feel a little bit dry, but it's gonna warm up. But part of doing good work, you enjoy doing good work, and when you're enjoying what you're doing, it doesn't feel like work. And so this is some of pictures of our teams in action. We'll go to the next slide. So whether you have an interest in doing research with us and doing our high school program and participating in our book club, there's room for you within Patients Are Waiting at whatever level of learning you are and whatever level of involvement you would like. We can go to the next slide. We have a book club that meets at the last Wednesday of each month. It's open to the public. This church promotes the book club. Right now we're reading the 1619 Project, and we're reading part 1 in November and part 2 in December. Next. And every month we have an opportunity to engage the entire PRW community of learners. If you're just like, I want to meet students who are, doing the same thing, or I just want to listen in, you can always jump on. It's the same link. It's a recurring link for the community call. Each month, first Sunday of the month at 7 p.m. We call it Sunday dinner. We have other programs, and we can go on ahead. So some people know about us through our work for COVID vaccination. So anything that we're doing as an organization that's in service to the community, our students can get involved in as well. Next slide. Now, to the juicy stuff, why you came tonight. And Carissa, you can take us away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Carissa. Can you all hear me in person?
Yep.
Perfect. Welcome. I'm the program director of Pipeline Dreams High School. Here are some images of our program in the past. And I wanted to get us started with these pictures because I definitely think our hands-on experience is one of the most transformational experiences of the program as we're going through. So, Shika, if you can fast forward a couple slides and get to where I am here. Perfect. Thank you. So our vision for this program is to foster a sustainable pipeline of diverse physicians, scientists, and healthcare professionals to decrease health disparities by increasing diversity in medicine. As you can see on the right-hand side, we have this graph. And in terms of representation, you can see this was based on 2019, there is still a lot of work to do. But I love to see this visual. I love to show it so we can really ground ourselves in our vision for the future. This program has been in past partnership with Lancaster, and we are currently recruiting for our Pipeline Dreams section of it. We're really grateful for the partnership and the foundation that it's been able to give us these last 3 cohorts, and this will be our 4th installment of the program. Here's myself and Dr. Hamlin at my first DIM conference that you saw a little bit earlier. We founded this really thinking about what we wish that we had, or what experiences did we wish we had, or what experiences did we like that we can duplicate and give forward for the next generation of healthcare professionals. Basically, this program has these 4 core tenets. I'm speaking a little fast, so let me slow down a little. But we really founded this as a way to empower Black and Brown students with an opportunity for them to explore potential careers in medicine and research, really with knowledge, but also that motivation and inspiration from clinicians that look just like them. So first, you can see that exposure piece. This was at our hands-on healthcare experience. They were in the OR practicing on a simulator that Dr. Livingston and Dr. Hamlin as OBGYNs use when they're in the OR themselves. It's really cool to have that hands-on experience, but also expose them to concepts of health equity, research, and just what fields are out there for them to pursue if they're interested in this. Next, this isn't all fun and games. This is also an academic program. So students are challenged to think critically about a health disparity and do a real research proposal while they're in high school. So in small groups, they create this, they work together, and they learn together and in front of each other about something that they're actually interested in. And it's really, really great to see their growth throughout the program and their familiarity with research papers. I know when I was a freshman at UC Berkeley majoring in biochemistry, I had never read a research paper before, and it whooped me. It was so difficult. I spent 5 hours on it. It was horrible. I stayed up all night, and that's not necessarily how it's supposed to be. We can definitely pay it forward with the knowledge that we have. Our last couple is highlighting and connecting. So we really want to highlight opportunities for students that they should take advantage of as they're on this journey for medicine. So here's a picture at the LMSA regional conference that students were able to travel to in Philadelphia. You can see they got their Pipeline Dreams swag, and just from their smiles, it was a really, really great day. They also toured a total of 4 medical schools in Philadelphia, which was great. Just the opportunity to step foot on a medical school is something definitely, and hear about that process from deans and different outreach. That was a really, really important experience. And then lastly, students connect each week with clinicians in practice. Kyla, if you come off of, if you turn your video on, you can see her, she's right here. This was our medical student panel. Yep, she's at the library right now. We were just talking, but you have the opportunity in this program to connect with real medical students, real graduate students, real PhD students, and ask them about their experience. So that's in this kind of little corner, as well as actual clinicians in practice. So each week we have a different guest that from a range of different specialties. Basically, this program is a 12-week hybrid program, and we accept up to a total of 50 students from around the country. We've had the majority of our students in PA as well as New York, but we'd have people from Chicago, Delaware, New Jersey, California as well. So it's also a really great opportunity to just meet people that have different perspectives than you, especially in high school, but connect with them from across the country and learn together. Basically, we meet every Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern time over Zoom. So that first hour is really talking about the week ahead, learning about those scientific papers and what research is and health disparities are. And then that second hour is around, you have a guest. So here you can see on this slide, you can see the Zoom people, and then you can also see a screen share. There we had an assistant professor from Penn State Dermatology come and give us a great, really interactive presentation about what she does, especially why it's important as a Black woman in dermatology. And then that next week, their department came and did a hands-on station for us. So you can see here Aaliyah suturing and learning what that's like from some dermatologists. An important piece to this is that I went back and forth if I want to include this, but I think it's important to show our structure for this program. So each group in their research projects will be in a group of 5. So it's great, you get to work with your group every week, break out over Zoom, but you also get to have a pre-med college intern with you, holding your hand each step of the way. So you can ask them what it's like to be a pre-med in college, ask about their experience, ask about the med school prep or graduate school prep and what that's like, and really learn from them as well. This year, we're starting January 10th, right when we come back from New Year's, and we will go until March 28th. We have 3 in-person experiences. The first on February 11th, that hands-on healthcare experience that you've seen some pictures of. February 27th, we will be traveling to the Latino Medical Student Association National Conference at Hopkins, which I'm so excited about. I cannot wait. It's going to be a really amazing time. And then lastly, on March 25th, before we end, we'll be having our Student Research Expo, where the students are able to present their work and compete for an internship based and be judged by clinicians from around the country as well. Okay, this is a video. I want to offer a quick pause in terms of how we can best share this, but I'm going to try to share it virtually, and then we can see how the sound goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or do I actually have what it takes for the medical field?
What is something that you learned about yourself in the past 12 weeks?
I learned that I can do what I put my mind to. Before this, when we talked about doing a big study at the end, I was super nervous and I didn't know how I was going to research, but I've learned that I can do it if I work at it.
Something I learned about myself is that I have a lot of passion for medical, and I can actually do a lot of things that I didn't think were possible for myself.
I think if we did not have hands-on experience, I think it would be hard to get the message across for many students right now.
I'm definitely taking this stuff to college because I would not have known as strongly how to do a research paper or do a research project without.
I've got some pretty cool doctors, and they're going to be helping me with like my college application process and my medical process.
They really gain experience doing hard things and challenge themselves academically. So being able to take that into any undergraduate career and being that one step ahead, something that we really pride ourselves on.
Whoops. Okay, that was a quick. That was a quick video just kind of showing what the program looks like, especially our in-person days. So I wanted to add this slide in because I really want to kind of illustrate now, especially looking at our fourth installment, what this cycle or what this ecosystem that we're creating with this program. We really have a large cohort of high school students, then we have those college pre-meds, and then we also have the clinicians that we meet each week, as well as the PRW team. So it's really, really amazing to see the relationships grow, everyone talk to each other, and also know that the guests are there for everyone. It's not just for the high school students. It's not just for the college pre-meds. The clinicians are also there because they feel and they love to come and speak and also want to continue to build their network. So it's really great to see how these relationships have built over the last 3 years. And I'm excited to present today, as well as I hope to see some applications. So quickly, what is a Pipeline Dreams High School Scholar? What are we looking for? We really are looking for a high school junior or senior when they're in their junior or senior year, getting ready to apply or applying to college, that is interested in pursuing a career in medicine or healthcare. Now, it doesn't mean you have to have a particular GPA, a particular set of extracurriculars, none of that. What we really are looking for is an interest in science or healthcare, a passion for learning, but also a passion to seek opportunities for professional development. You're there because you understand the commitment you're making to your future, to your college applications especially, and you want to learn more and connect with each other and our guests and our PRW staff. Similarly, with our Pipeline Dreams High School interns, we are currently looking for a college pre-med with a passion for mentorship. It's important that they have an understanding of racial health disparities, experience working with high school students, excellent written and oral communication, and similarly seeking opportunities of professional development. So we're just creating a great ecosystem of Black Doctor Factory, like Dr. Hamlin always loves to say. And if you're in person or on your computer, please definitely scan this QR code to be able to streamline your application.
I'll just add a couple of things. For the high school students, many times when you're trying to do healthcare or something in science, you have to be chosen. It's like, well, if you're one of the chosen students, the guidance counselor says, I see something in you, okay? That's not what we want. If that's you, great. But guess what? That wasn't me. Not everybody saw so much potential in little Shrees, okay? And we understand that there's more potential out there than people being chosen, okay? And so the point is, choose yourself. Your parents chose you, your pastors chose you, your community members said, hey, I see something in you, you can lend a hand. And remember that we talked about all of these different fields. And so it's not uncommon that we'll have students who say, well, I want to be an x-ray tech. And then when they start to hear and see an x-ray tech and they meet a radiologist and they meet a radiation therapist, they start to see, okay, there's a lot of different options around here that all have to do with looking through the human body, okay? And so that's the point, is that we want to do exposure, and we're more of a, if you're interested, we want to see you, not if you have straight A's. If you have straight A's, great. If you have C's, guess what? You're going to finish this program making B's, because now you see the reasons and you understand more, and you can see that other people have struggles too, okay? So, and for college students, the ideal timing of this, we have lots that's going on, and we'll get into some of this in a few more slides, but if you are early on in your college career and you're not yet ready for it, this is not exactly the best time to, like if you're preparing for the MCAT, this is probably not the ideal time to be, we want you to be able to give 10 hours a week to our students. So the college interns are really a part of the staff and the teaching of the program, and we want you to be able to give it your all. 10 hours a week is all that we ask, and it's with a set schedule. We can go on to the next slide. A major part of what we think is important, again, is giving what we didn't have. I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to go to conferences as a medical student. I had never been to a conference before as an undergrad. And so part of what we try to do is that sponsorship piece and bringing students along so you can see what it is to be among hundreds and thousands of Black and Latino and other brown people who are doing medicine, who are doing science. If anybody hasn't looked on their Instagram feed and seen the hashtag Afrotech, you should check it out. These are all like Black people in tech, and it's happening right now. And I'm like, oh my goodness, we need to be sending students to Afrotech. I need to go to Afrotech. So that's a major piece of what we do. And so that's another thing that you would want to, whether you are in our high school program, high school students will be involved in going to the Latino Medical Student Association meeting as part of the program. And it will just be a day trip with a bus leaving from Lancaster, going to Baltimore, coming back in the evening. I will not be coming back. I will be at the gala. So for those 21 and over, we'll be having, the dinner party and all of that. And these conferences usually go for, two solid days with lots of programming. And it is a wonderful time, and it's a wonderful opportunity to get some exposure. SNMA conference, Kyla, can you share some about your SNMA experience, please?
Yes, of course. My name is Kyla. I am a second-year medical student at Loyola in Chicago. And SNMA is just like, it's everything. It's the biggest, I think, it's the biggest conference nationally, bringing together people, pre-meds, med students, doctors, residency programs, med schools, all together, all people underrepresented in medicine, making a huge impact. So not only can you network at these conferences, you can also learn a lot through the hands-on sessions, the just valuable advice that are shared amongst peers. It's one conference that I never miss. Like, since I've never missed it. I'll never miss it again. It's always on my schedule. Yeah, an amazing conference.
How is the sound? Okay. Is the sound good? Okay, great. Sorry. Wonderful, wonderful. And we can go on to the next slide.
Okay, so the MCAT, a lot of people's not so favorite part about applying to medical school. I know the MCAT was the scariest part for me, but fortunately, Patients Are Waiting has started an MCAT cohort where students come together and tackle this beast of a test together. So our 2023 MCAT cohort will run from January 21st until April 1st. And this will include 10 weeks of interactive question-based classes with subject experts, 2 full-length exams. Oh, sorry, can you guys hear me? Okay, great. A learning coach, regular check-ins with PRW leadership. We're basically holding each other's hands throughout this process because MCAT studying and standardized testing in general can be very isolating, but it doesn't have to be that way. So if you are taking the MCAT this spring or summer, please scan this QR code. And if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer at the end.
So good evening, everyone. My name is Lashika Chapman. I'm not new to Patients Are Waiting, but I'm new as a part of the staff. I'm a medical anthropologist, and I did my dissertation research with their doula program. My work in medical anthropology is the intersection of behavior, society, external influences, and how that can affect health outcomes. And a lot of what we're seeing in the things that the clinicians are trying to fight in shifting ways to sustain you in medical school and shifting clinical practice, they start by really keen observation of what's happening sociologically. So in light of that and a few research projects that are coming down the pipeline and 2 that are in operation now, we're actively seeking a qualitative research and applied narrative medicine intern. If you are looking to go to med school, do not feel like this does not apply to you. More than likely, by the time you guys enter med school as your juniors and seniors in high school now, you'll be taking narrative medicine coursework, and by that time, you might be taking more than what's offered now. Actually, students at Columbia, it turned into an entire additional master's program. It's kind of the way to approach how you deal with your patients. But in this regard, we're applying these theories to research. So the posting will be on the PRW website. You can read more about it there. And also, if you're interested in applying and you're still not quite sure what that is or what that means, my email address is there, and you can email me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
And for those of you, qualitative and quantitative research, and this is something that we talk about in the Pipeline Dreams program. Quantitative, counting things. If I'm saying, okay, how many ducks in this row, how many ducks in that row, what's the average number of ducks? Qualitative, what color are the ducks? How do the ducks behave? Are there patterns in the behavior of the ducks? And let's talk about that. We say, well, the ducks walk toward the bread and they run away from loud sounds. This is what we've observed. That's qualitative research. There's 11 ducks, and the average duck size is, 6 inches. That's quantitative. All right, next slide. We have had a doula program for the last 2 years. If you're interested in being a part of the ongoing research that's there, or working with that program, this is ideal for people who are interested in doing community work. They may be interested in public health or maternal child care. There's lots that's always going on with that program. And so there's opportunity to, whether it is kind of participating in the research more tangentially, like kind of a light touch, as opposed to getting into the weeds, or working with the community program and kind of helping with some of the events, that's an opportunity as well. Next. So scan that code to apply for internships. Internships are for college and beyond students. Pipeline Dreams program is for high school students, juniors and seniors. You can go to the next slide. So questions. Anyone can feel free to come off of mute, or if you're in the room.
I have a question.
Okay,
first, I want to shout out Dr. Hamlin. She was my doctor. I don't know if you remember me.
Yes, I do.
Okay. I got your information from this church that I just started, Bethel on Strawberry Street. I forgot what it's called. But I do have a question. I am in college right now, first semester for nursing, and I would like I don't know if I can start internships now or if I would qualify for internships and stuff through your program.
Yes. So Lena, it's wonderful to see you, and I'm just you've absolutely made my night. This was like 4 years ago that I took care of you.
Yes.
So you can absolutely apply for the program. It's 10 hours a week, and most of the internship, again, for college students, if you want to help with the high school program, and there will certainly be students who are interested in nursing. And so if we are interns, for example, if you're a pre-nursing student or a nursing student, and then it's good to know, and we have that on the application just so we can be clear and try to match up the interest of our program students, our Pipeline Dreams program students, with the interest of the interns that they're working with. So great question. What next question? There's a question in the chat saying, I am of Asian descent. Can I apply to your high school program? Absolutely. So that's a wonderful question. I'll even expand on it, saying, is Patients Are Waiting only for Black and brown students. No, okay? That would be illegal, first of all. We are inclusive, and so anyone can participate in our programs. What we ask is that we are dedicated to improving racial health disparities, increasing the pipeline of minority clinicians, and it takes people from all walks of life to do that work. And so there may be an opportunity that fits better for another student because of what they are doing in their educational journey or what they are bringing to that experience based on their, their knowledge or their skills. And so we welcome you to apply to the program. Next question. Anybody in the room? I will make a question for parents. What do I need to do? Do I need to drop my student off every week? Or do I need to take them all around the country? What do I need to do as a parent? That's a great question. The answer to that is encourage your student to tune into their Zoom each week. Attendance is absolutely imperative. We cannot make up the session, right? And so you're thinking about 50 students on a Zoom, 10 interns, probably another 5 or 10 staff, and then our guests. And so if you miss a week, you miss out on a lot. And so we give you the dates. These dates are important. You want to check your schedules. If you have a job or an activity that it conflicts with those dates, this program is not for you. Okay, because we spend a lot of time and energy into this. And just so that you know, the program is free. It's not free to us. It costs us about $80,000 a year to run this program. Okay, and we do it for you because we care, because we think it's important, and because patients are waiting for you. So, other questions?
Can I get a show of hands, people preparing to take the MCAT this year?
I don't see any hands, but I did launch a poll. And so please go ahead and answer the poll. Oh, Denisha Williams, taking the MCAT this year. I see your hand, girl. Yes, come with us.
Garcia Naya.
There's a question here. In preparation for the future, are there any programs for middle school students who have expressed an interest in the medical field? That is a wonderful, wonderful question. So we did not have enough time, or we didn't go into it in the slides, but we actually participate with 2 programs for middle school students right here in Lancaster. If your student goes to the mix or they go to Brightside Opportunity Center, we participate with those programs. For the mix, for the last 2 summers, we have had our interns go and we have done push in education with something called Camp Invention that's done by the National Patent Office to give students an exploration or an exposure into what it is to kind of tinker with something, solving problems, fixing things. And for Brightside, we've put programming into their STEM camp. And so those are 2 places where we collaborate, and we're looking at a potential of having our hands-on experience include students outside of our program to give people that opportunity. If you've ever watched on Instagram, again, I love searching online, Black Men in White Coats, they do these youth summits, and that kind of model is very, very similar to what we do with our hands-on healthcare experience. And so I think it's important for the younger students to plant that seed, and then that's where the parents and the adults in your life kind of come in to continue to give that exposure, continue to give that encouragement, because that encouragement is what's needed. We need more doors open and more lights being green than to have this selection of a few. As you can see from that first graph that Carissa showed, it's not about a few. We need droves and droves of people. We are trying to build a Black doctor factory here. And if you're not Black, it doesn't mean not you. We're talking about you too. Okay, next question. The deadline for Pipeline Dreams application, and is it first come, first serve until the 50-person capacity is reached? 2 questions in one. I love it, Jolene. Thank you so much. So the deadline for the application is January 5th, 4th, January 4th.
Yes.
And it is not first come, first serve. Again, we really want to see people, come to us. So far, we really have not had to turn anyone away in the previous 3 cohorts, but I've got a feeling that we're going to have 100 applications this year. And we will we'll fill the program based on multiple criteria. We read every application. As I said, we haven't had to turn people away before. Oftentimes there's a self-selection. So for example, if you're applying to the program, but you have 6 dates that you're going to miss, well, you selected yourself out of it. So that's something. But there's great chances of being included in the program if you apply. So thank you all. There's a couple more people we need to go ahead and vote online. 5 of you didn't respond. I'm good for the call outs. So if you didn't answer the poll, please try to go ahead and do it. Well, actually 2 of them would be myself and Dr. Livingston. So 3 people didn't respond to the poll. Other questions?
Can you resend the poll?
Absolutely. So the question was, the schedule looks like 1 day a week, or is it 3 days a week? So for the high school program, right, for a pipeline dream to participate in that program, you need to be a junior or senior in high school. That program meets on Tuesdays from 6 to 8, and the dates are on that high school flyer. So those dates are January 10th to March 28th. Okay, for the college interns for that program, we prep on Monday, we have our session on Tuesday, and then you have office hours. So that's why it says 3 days a week. So if you're a college student and you want to be an intern for the high school program for Pipeline Dreams, then it's going to be a 3-day-a-week commitment for 10 hours a week. If you're a high school student participating in the program, that meets on Tuesdays, in addition to those 3 hands-on or in-person dates that are all Saturdays. Other questions? All right, I'm gonna give us the results of the poll. I asked the question, how did you hear about this info session? And let me end it, and I should show, let me see, share the results. So can you all see the results of the poll?
Yes.
Yes, so social media, the newsletter, guidance counselors came through, family and friends, other. For all those family and friends who shared this, thank you, thank you, thank you. The sharing is caring. And then who's here? We have high school students, college students, parents. Awesome. And community members, thank you so much. Wonderful. And can everybody put where you are physically in the country? Just drop it in the chat. Obviously, those of us in the room here, we're in Lancaster. Any other questions? And any PRW program alums who want to share their experience with the group? Yes. And so you guys are in college, right? Okay. And so 2 college students are here in the room, and they have class on Fridays from noon to 1, and I would say yes. So you're not conflicting with the times of our program or our prep, and so you should definitely apply. Yeah. All right, so with the locations, we have Hershey, Lancaster, Brooklyn, Maryland, California, Philly, Chicago, Boyertown, Harrisburg, Baltimore. Wonderful. Thank you all so much, and I really appreciate everyone for spending some time with us. We will share the recording with all who registered, and so thank you so much, and we're going to close it out. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.